So today we're going to do an oil change on the Cadillac. It's a 2012 CTS V coupe. And I've got these black moon side skirts kind of on the front, sides, back, and it's lowered on eye-box springs. So you can't use the low profile jack for it because it'll rub against the side skirts down there. So I had to put on these kind of makeshift ramps, get the car up a little bit higher, and then I was able to get the regular jack under there on the jacking spot. So get the car jacked up and then get under there. Alright, so I got the car jacked up now. Got it jacked up on the other side, and I got the jack stand under it. And then this side I've got the jack stand under it as well, so it's not going anywhere. And then the drain plug is right up there, so I'll see if I've got enough room in the front and see if I can get under there and figure out what size bolt that is. So it's actually a 15 for reference. Man, gotta make sure I got it going the right way. Yeah. Oh. Boy, that's tight. Finally got it undone, so this is my first time doing this oil change on this car, and the previous person must have just really cranked on it. So there we go, got it out finally. So now let it drain and go from there. So now it's still draining down there. I'm not worried about it overflowing the pan down there at all, so go ahead and open up the cap and then let it get let it drain out a little bit quicker down there. Alright, so we're down to just drip now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean off the bolt here, the drain plug, and then I clean off the drain. Put it back in there. Now next time I drain the oil, I'm not going to have that problem having that bolt too tight, because I'm used to how tight I do my oil changes. This is the first one I'm doing, so shouldn't be a problem next time. And I'll tighten that up a little bit more. And then the oil filter's up here. Nice. And I've got this it's oil filter wrench, 76 millimeter. This is 14 flutes. So I'm going to put that on my wrench. Let's see if this works.
Looks like it's coming. There it goes. Look at that. Might need an extension. Oh, there we go. Cool. I got the filter out. Lots of oil in my hands. Alright, so I'm still letting the oil filter drain, but we use Mobile One, full synthetic 5W30, and I think it takes 6 quarts. I've got 8 here, and I've got the oil filter here. It's a Mobile One. M1113A, so should fit. And then I always like to clean out my filters or the funnels from previous oil changes, so I clean that out, and then we'll go ahead and fill up the filter before we install it. Still got some more to go in there. There we go. And another thing I like to do is make sure you get the ring, the gasket, get some oil on there. Get it nice and lubed up. And then we'll go ahead and get this installed and get the underside all cleaned up from the oil from the... Looks like everything's done draining. I'll just get this filter area cleaned up from that leftover oil. Make sure there's nothing, not a whole lot of stuff left up in there. Clean it as good as you can. And then that way too, you can see if there's any leaks, any new leaks or anything after you're all done. If it's all dirty and stuff down here, you can't tell if it's a new leak or old leak. Okay. Take the new filter. Then the filters only like to go hand tight, but really tighten it down as hard as you can. There we go. So that's done, and then I still need to get the plug a little bit tighter. Just a tad. Okay, that's good. So now we're all done under here.
all this oil cleaned up. So I went ahead and I already got the jack stands out. Make sure you take those things out. And because of the side skirts, like I was talking about earlier, for me, there's a specific way that you have to jack the car up. So I'm just gonna do the opposite of that and get the car down. There's one side down. Do this side. Oh, a little too fast for my liking, but nonetheless it's down. All right. So now another thing I like to do is double check the filter. So I looked at the filter, looked at all the oil there coming out, everything looked good. And then we also have a oiled catch can. So for this car, for mine, the dipstick right here is in the way, so I got the dipstick out. And then I'm gonna drain the catch can. So the catch can is supposed to stop oil from going back into the intake and combust with the engine. See, there's a little bit of oil in there. So drain that out. Because otherwise that oil would just go right back into the intake and burn with the engine. So I guess it's supposed to help performance a little bit. And maybe engine longevity. Alright, so we got the catch can back on and just cleaning up the funnel here. So we've got 3 quarts left over here. So we're gonna do these 3. I'm not even paying attention where the GoPro's pointing, sorry about that. And then we should do about half the other container. Start the car up, check the level, and then go from there. So I went ahead and started it up, checked the oil beforehand, and it was just below the halfway mark, so I just put just a little bit more in there. I'd say I'm just over 6 quarts putting it in there.
and it seems like it's spot on. So this is the LSA engine. It's got a pulley, green belt, air raid, cold air intake with the green filter on it. It's got a 160-degree thermostat. It's got a Texas Speed cam, Vader expansion tank. It's got a Vader intercooler in the front, Moroso catch can. I think it's got ID 1050 injectors in there. Dyno tuned at 625 wheel horsepower, so it's sitting around 700 to the crank. It's a fun car. So I just did my first oil change in it, and it's good for about a year. I think I only put maybe 800 to 1,000 miles on it this year since I bought it. With COVID, not driving around anywhere, it hasn't been utilized a whole bunch, so now it's got fresh oil ready to go. Anyways.